Good morning, lovelies. Today we are talking about my top 10 least favorite character tropes. Whether they affect the villains, the main characters, love interests, or anyone else, if I see any of these in a story I am invested in, I'm out. On to the tropes. Number 1, no emotion. Sometimes the author will give us a character who has no or very little emotional response to anything. My father's been killed! Oh well, better continue on the quest as usual. Are you a robot? It's okay if you are, I just need to know. A story told from the POV of a cold, emotionless robot while all the other characters are human and showing actual human emotional responses, that'd be kind of interesting. But that's not what's happening here. The author just forgets to include character emotions and psychological responses, especially to trauma, or they'll give it a token effort. A single scene or one paragraph, and then the character just snaps back to their ordinary self as if they hadn't just seen their hometown burn to the ground. Number 2, the edgy antihero. Lord save me from dark, broody antiheroes. Stop me if you've heard this one before. A middle-aged white dude, possibly with a family, definitely with a dark, mysterious past, is living his normal average Joe life post-retirement when suddenly his dark past comes back to haunt him, and he has to fight off legions of goons and henchmen in several awesome action scenes all by himself because he's a loner who don't play by the rules. I am so sick of this white male power fantasy, I can't even tell you. More so than all the other white male power fantasies in my media. At least it's not an explicit writing error like the last one. Number 3, the man with the dead wife / family. I believe I've mentioned the woman in the refrigerator trope a few times. This is it. That intriguing female character who's interesting enough to seduce our main character is really only good to kill off so we can launch our hero into a bloody action revenge story. She lives and dies purely to motivate the man. Find better uses for your women characters than killing them off. She doesn't have to be the star of the show. Maybe she's a doctor and helps patch him up after his fights before going away to stay safe. Or she has underground connections in the world of crime and helps him get all of his weapons before the big fight. Or she's a journalist and her research into the villain helps the hero know what he's dealing with. Something. Anything. Please. Number 4, painfully awkward. There are 2 types of awkward out there. Adorably awkward and painfully awkward. I like adorably awkward. I cannot stand painfully awkward. There's a threshold limit that I can only cross for tiny amounts of time before going back. I just can't do it, guys. I'm sorry. Number 5, the douchebag boyfriend and his resigned girlfriend. Why do so many gorgeous women in fiction have terrible boyfriends? Oh, right. We need a really low bar for our hero to clear, and also feel less guilty when he's crushing on a woman who is already in a committed relationship. Seriously, no matter why you're doing this or writing it this way, the girlfriend comes out looking really bad, to the point where I don't even know what the hero sees in her. She's either an idiot who cannot see that the man that she's dating is an asshole, or more often, she doesn't care and even defends him because he cares about me. So you're an asshole too, huh? That's cool. This isn't a villain power couple. Those are cool. In this instance, she is just resigned to the fact that her boyfriend is going to be a jerk. Definitely to others, possibly even to her, and doesn't think about breaking up with him to find someone better. Or at least she doesn't think about that until our strappy protagonist comes along to put that genius idea in her mind. God forbid that she breaks up with the boyfriend of her own volition and spends some time by herself to figure things out, rather than just because the hero told her to and wants to date him herself. It's different when it's an emotionally abusive relationship because now you've got this whole layer of fear and dependence and psychological torture and gaslighting and all of that stuff. That makes the boyfriend an abusive asshole and the girlfriend his victim who's just trying to survive. I very rarely see this trope reversed. The asshole girlfriend and the resigned boyfriend. Boys aren't trained to be resigned. When their girlfriends start acting like a jerk, they leave. Number 6, spare the villain, but not the henchman? The hero has the villain on his knees, gun to his head, but he decides to spare his life because killing the villain would make him just as bad. Except for all the henchmen that the hero had to kill just to get to this point. Fuck those guys. Do all those men just not count? I mean, like, when this scene pops up, the hero has killed like 50 people just to get to that, just to beat the villain, but he doesn't kill the villain because murder is wrong. It would make him just as bad. You're a mass murderer. You killed an army's worth of people just to get here. What the fuck? Just once. I want the hero to do this, and then in the next episode or chapter or book, the child or parent of one of those henchmen goes after him in revenge. I don't even like revenge stories, but I want that. Number 7, the faux action girl, aka the useless warrior woman. I talked about this trope in both my strong female character video and the damsel in distress video. Basically, a faux action girl is when the writer promises us a strong female character and then fails to give us an actually strong female character. She will be described as an amazing fighter, a lethal assassin, a genetically enhanced soldier designed to be the perfect weapon. But every time she fights, she needs the dude to come in and save her. That's not a strong female character. That's a damsel in black leather. Number 8, dumb characters. If it's a dumb villain, why should we be scared of them? They're obviously not that big of a threat. If it's a dumb hero, why are we rooting for them? Logically, they should have been killed a dozen times before the midway point, and the only reason they're alive is because of sheer dumb luck. You're just drawing attention to the plot armor you've got on them. Obviously, it's different if the story is a comedy, but the amount of dumb characters in serious action media is staggering. And the most common one is number 9, the dumb damsel. This is my least favorite type of dumb character. It is almost always a woman, and if it's not a woman, it's a child. And she gets damseled because she did something stupid. No other reason, or at least no other reason in universe. The actual reason is that the writer wants to have the hero rescue the woman, and this is the only way they could think of to make that happen, because they have no respect for women's intelligence. It's even more insulting if it's the faux action girl. So this is when the author is genuinely trying to write a strong female character and thinks that this is the type of character that would do something so stupid as to jeopardize her life. She is supposed to be a feared warrior, a world-renowned assassin, a soldier of 1,000 battles. But she charged right into the enemy fortress without any backup and now needs the hero to rescue her? Come on! I'm not saying don't write a damsel in distress. I'm not even saying that a strong female character can't ever be rescued by the guy. Every time? And number 10, the trusty sidekick. Secondary characters can make or break your story. These are the main characters, friends, family, classmates, mentor, whatever. A well-written secondary character, like the best friend, for instance, grows with the main character. They may not be the focus of the story, but they have their own complete arc, or at the very least, their own life outside of their main character best friend. But so often, the trusty sidekick, it just exists for the sake of propping up the main character. They have no other relationships or hobbies or anything outside of the main character and their adventures. They are not a fully fleshed out character. They're also often a person of color, which wouldn't be that big of a deal if POCs were able to be the main character just as often, but they're not. This is actually the same with LGBT plus characters too, and disabled characters. Those are my least favorite character tropes. Please share yours in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you can, join us on Patreon. That link is in the description. Bye, lovelies!